What's up, guys? It's me, Alan, and I'm back with another video today. And I wanted to cover a topic that it's near and dear to the hearts of many fans in the Monster Jam community. That's what this video is gonna be about, and it's the World Finals. Now, Monster Jam has changed a lot over the last few years, and it's been quite noticeable with many of these changes. But one thing that has not changed up until last year was the venue for the World Finals. It was always held in Las Vegas. Well, with the exception of the unofficial World Finals Zero, um, back in the late '90s. But that's besides the point. And then it got moved to Orlando last year. And then because originally supposed to be at MetLife, but scheduling issues made it caused them to choose to bring the World Finals to Orlando. Now, they want to do this on a rotational schedule each year, but they decided, nope, Orlando's going to get it again this year, and then the pandemic happened, so for the first time ever, World Finals got canceled. But I have some ideas for the World Finals event, and feel free to comment down below what you think about these ideas. I'm going to take this approach similar to how NASCAR YouTuber Slapshoes did his video on the 2021 NASCAR schedule, what he would propose for that, um, and his self-proclamation as a God Emperor, quote unquote. So I'm going to kind of go that route myself, in a way, and let's get on with it. So if you like what you see, please drop a like and subscribe. It would really help out the channel. One of my friends subscribed tonight, so I'm at 150 subscribers. Thank you, and I cannot wait to continue to grow this channel. So here we go. So as the quote-unquote God Emperor over Monster Jam, first things first, NBC Sports needs to move up Monster Jam's time slot. When Speed Channel and subsequently Fox Sports 1 was broadcasting Monster Jam, they were not broadcasting their new episodes at freaking 10, 11, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Are you kidding me? Why? And again, I live on the East Coast, so we're talking East Coast time. So you back that up about 3 hours, and that's like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock West Coast time. Insanity. It's like with NASCAR, with starting their races at 3:30. As we've seen, rain has been such an issue this year. That's another video for another day. But point is, move Monster Jam up in the time slot. Biggest issue, bring the World Finals back to Las Vegas. As God Emperor, I'm making that happen. It needs to happen. Vegas is where the history is at. But I'm not going to make that its only venue. I'm open to this sort of rotational schedule, but we're going to keep it between two venues. Vegas with Sam Boyd Stadium and Rice-Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake City, Utah. The Supercross guys go there. Why not Monster Jam? And Rice-Eccles Stadium is a very similar layout to Sam Boyd Stadium. It's perfect. It's legit perfect. You know? There's nothing more to say there. In terms of the field of drivers, or the field of trucks, it's changed over the years. It's gone from 16 to 24 to 32, back to 24 for last year's World Finals. I think the best of the best is a 32 truck field. I'm going to leave the stadium and arena series tours alone. I think that's a good way. You get to see these guys battle it out, and whoever wins the tour gets that automatically into the World Finals. But there's another stipulation. If you are a past World Finals champion competing in one of these tours, and it's more so going to be the stadium tours than the arena ones. But if you're a past World Finals champion and you win the stadium as one of these stadium tours, you will already have an automatic bid as being a past champion. And if you compete and you plan to compete and all that, there's your shot. You get an automatic bid to the World Finals being a past champion, and therefore, that automatic bid from these stadium tours will go to the highest ranked non-past champion. So one such example, Stadium Championship Series 1 from last year, Tom Meents, he finished first, and Ryan Anderson finished second. Camden Murphy, who has not won a World Finals championship like Meents and Anderson have, finished third on that tour. So he would get the automatic bid to the World Finals, as Meents and Anderson would already have bids to the World Finals being their based off their past championships. Now, a lot of past champions no longer compete. Dennis Anderson and Medusa are retired, and you got names like Brian Barthel, Lupe Souza, Leo O'Donnell, and so on and so forth that are no longer competing, which is a shame. Anderson and Medusa retired, but name like Leo O'Donnell, it was only a few years ago he won the World Finals off that crazy front flip, which nobody was expecting. That was a lucky move, and that's what won him that World Finals Freestyle Championship. Um, and then pretty much after that, O'Donnell's he just has not been in Monster Jam, and it sucks. But anyway, moving on from that, this is a sort of besides the point type deal. But if you go back to 2016, where we had multiple Gravediggers and multiple Max D's show up, and they were distinguished differently based on the color or the color scheme. Dennis Anderson had a chrome Gravedigger. Adam Anderson ran the regular scheme. Cole Vennard ran a purple Gravedigger. Morgan Kane ran an orange one. Max D, Tom Meents had the regular paint scheme. Colton Eichelberger had a gold one. Not 2016, but I believe 2017, Neil Elliott ran a red one. And Jared Eichelberger had a yellow Max D in the Young Gun Shootout. Max D and Gravedigger are the two biggest teams out there. You see most events, you'll see at least one of the two. Especially Gravedigger. I mean, they've had so many drivers go through that team. Insane. But one, if you're gonna have multiple of that named truck, multiple Gravediggers, multiple Max Ds, you have to have them distinguished differently. So we know which driver is driving which truck, and so that fans don't get confused. Because especially like in racing, if you have one Gravedigger competing in one race and another Gravedigger competing in one race, or the race thereafter, or whatever, it's as if you just watch them. Not to mention, I believe Adam Anderson and Tyler Menninga squared off at one point during the 2019 World Finals racing event. So it's, you want to know who's driving which truck. And more so pertaining to Team Gravedigger, there would also be a limit up to 4 trucks per team under the same name. So not like Team Scream, where you have Avenger, Brutus, Spike, Megabyte, etc. Well, some of those trucks don't compete anymore, but you get my point. But 4 Gravediggers. Now Charlie Pauken, Gravedigger driver, but he won his World Finals championship driving Monster Mutt, which is what he normally would drive at the World Finals. Instead of Gravedigger, because a lot of these Gravedigger drivers will drive other trucks for the World Finals. And we've seen some of them win. Pablo Huffaker won in Captain's Curse, Pauken in Monster Mutt, etc., etc. So therefore, most likely you would have Adam Anderson, Tyler Menninga, Randy Brown, and Brandon Vincent driving, 4 potential Gravediggers in the World Finals. So what about Kristen Anderson? Well, she would be coming out of the Young Gun Shootout. If she was to win the Young Gun Shootout under this rule, yes, she would be a 5th Gravedigger entry, but she earned that spot. So as long as you can distinguish it from the rest, you're all set. For Team Max D, there's a possibility this could come into play, but like Blake Granger's been the one that's been in the Max D truck and not and we haven't really seen Jared Eichelberger lately, as far as I know. I could be wrong there. But you have Tom Mintz, you have Neil Elliott, and you have Colton Eichelberger. So really Blake Granger's that fourth truck. But he would also have to come out of Young Guns anyways. Um but we've seen different I don't even know how to say it. Uh yeah, distinguishing trucks. El Toro Loco would have the regular version, the black version for Mark McDonald, and the yellow version for Becky McDonough. Um, Monster Energy would run one body style for Todd LeDuc and the other for Cody Saucier. Um, so there's that. Obviously, the Double Dash Showdown comes back, as it always will. At least I would hope. Um, I would think a 16 truck field would work for that, but 12 trucks works just as fine. Um, there's a lot of amazing talents that, again, as I mentioned earlier, we just don't see anymore in Monster Jam. And excuse me, and I think that's a separate video for another day. Um, I hope to make that at some point and talk about that. Um, but that's just a thought there. But anyway, qualifying remains the same. Racing remains the same as it should. No buys through racing because of the 32 truck field, unless somebody breaks or whatever. Um, for freestyle though, probably one of the biggest controversies in Monster Jam in the last couple of years is the judging. Get rid of this decimal crap. Get rid of the fan judge. I'm sorry, but it needs to happen. Bring back professional judges, please. Okay? You bring back the six judges. You take the highest score and the lowest score. You drop those numbers. You take the four that are left. You add them up, and that's your score. Do I bring back bonus time or not? Maybe, maybe not. Possibly. Who knows? Um, but professional judging, I think, has a better track record than fan judging. I mean, John Zimmer put it best. The Monster YouTube channel has the 2019 Miami event on its channel, and John Zimmer put it best following his freestyle run, which even the judges have said was a little bit of a low score by the fans. Fans have a bias when it comes to who they, to how they judge because they go for the names and the trucks that they recognize rather than the run itself. And John Zimmer said something very similar to this. Um, I'll link that video in the description below as well, along with the Slap Shoes video if I didn't mention that already. And yeah, there's been some times where professional judges have gotten it wrong, but honestly, they have the better track record than the fan judges. I'm sorry, but they do. So two wheel skills challenge. Not totally sure if I would keep that in the world finals or not. I think for now I would. ATVs and speedsters, keep that in the arenas. The high jump competition, I think that's interesting. Bring that back. Um, the issue with a truck continuing or not, if it's broke, I'm not going to address that. That's another thing for another day. Um, One thing I will address though, I would love to bring back Scott Douglas for one more World Finals, one more at least. If he's retired, all right, cool. But if he's not, bring him back one time at least. And as God Emperor, I would hope to do that. Bring him back. It's only appropriate. It's for the culture, and that's really all I have to say. Like it, don't like it. Feel free to let me know in the comments. As always, please drop a like and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace.